All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the long-awaited return of the Brotherhood Ballad. I'm Alex Johnson, one of the co-hosts of this wonderful podcast, and sitting to my right is our other lovely co-host, Justin Rumbo, and we're excited to be back with you guys today.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, today we don't really have anything specific. We just kind of wanted to talk about a variety of different things and get a better feel for what you guys like as an audience, so we can hone in what we talk about more specifically. Justin here is returning from winter break on his senior year here at Graceland University. So we'll kick it off, he can give us a little rundown of how his break went, and we'll go from there.
It was a good break. Got some much needed quality family time, Gotta go for some runs, got some great Christmas gifts, got some well needed time with my girlfriend. It was overall really good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much more on a Christmas break. Now that I've back home and stuff, I was able to see family and just kind of spend some good quality time with my family too. So I'd say, it was a solid Christmas overall. How you feeling coming into your last semester?
I'm ready. I got that super senioritis. We've been at it 4.5 years. It's been a long journey. Learned a lot. Made a lot of good friends. I'm ready for it. The real world's gonna be a bit scary, but you just gotta grab it by the balls and get after it.
What would you say has been your biggest what's the word? How have you been able to best handle your stress throughout college, and what have you found the best to help you get through times where you definitely needed an extra kick in the butt, or just ways to kind of move forward and see the light at the end of the tunnel?
I think just knowing that no matter any of the struggle that you think you're going through in the moment, it's very minute in the grand scheme of your lifespan. The problems that you're having today aren't going to matter in a month or a year. And so getting through that has really helped me, just to be even with crazy situations. I heard this thing one time, and it was if you just think of bad situations as a really good story to tell later, it makes getting through that situation a lot better. You could be going through the worst thing, and if you think about it in a positive light, this is we're just going through something insane. Even today at the gas station, a person walked in on me while I was wiping my butt, and I could have been scared or anxious, but I was this is a hilarious situation, but let me finish my business, dude. But shout out to Quick Trip, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, you don't have to give any specifics, but would you say that there's been any maybe at the time felt unfortunate news, or something you weren't expecting, when you thought there were certain people that had your back but didn't? You don't have to go into detail if you don't want to, but you
I mean, when you're going through tough times, you find out who your real friends are.
Yeah,
that's
I'd have to
just the
agree
fact
with you
that
there.
you learn.
And I'd have to totally agree with you on that one, just because there's certain people that you'll meet in your life that say one thing but don't actually follow through with it, and end up certain actions lead to certain things happening, and I would say that your actions mean a lot more than your words. So I think we can both relate to that a little bit. So I would say that those are kind of some key takeaways.
Yeah.
If you had to point out a couple of your favorite memories, from Graceland, or some people that you've met that have helped change your Graceland experience, or help you get through times when you've been going through a lot, just expand on that a little bit.
I'd probably say that every year is different in college. Coming into it, you're nervous, you don't really know anybody, or if you go to a school that a lot of people, it just go with the flow. A lot of people I met my freshman year that I was good friends with ended up leaving and didn't come back. So just adjusting year to year and keeping the relationships and being able to adapt to new situations, I think, is really important in college and just in life in general. Friends are going to come and go, but the real ones stick around. But also just being able to be okay with friends coming in and out of your life. There's people that I'm friends with that I haven't seen for years, but it's all love,
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Yeah, I would kind of say the same things, just because like when I came here, it was I was doing the opposite, like in terms of how my high school class was bigger than the amount of total individuals that are here, like faculty and students included. So I came from like a very large place to a very small place, and I know a lot of people that go like that come here that go small high school to small college. So for me, like the transition was really hard, and I mean there were several points where I wanted to leave, but it was kind of just knowing that if I stuck with it, I would meet the right people and have like lifelong friends, which now I do, and I couldn't be more happy that I stayed and went down the path that I did. But along the way, like you said, there are going to be people that are in your life like seasons, like in nature, fall, winter, spring, summer. They come into your life for 3 to 4 months and boost you up to where you need to be, and then they're not meant to be there anymore. And that's okay. Like, it's nothing against that person. It's just you're meant to elevate to a different level, and they're not. Man, I mean, maybe they are too, but that's not where they're at right now in their life. And so I'd agree. Like, I've definitely had some seasonal friends, but more than like most important out of all of it, I've had true like friends that I've been like really close with now for several years. That will be lifelong friends. If I do get married, those like type of guys that will be in my wedding in terms of being groomsmen and stuff like that. So I'd say there's definitely been its positives at this place, but like you and I, especially you and I, have experienced some not so positive things, and everybody has a story to tell. But you know,
Yeah. I mean, I think just taking the positive out of every experience, like every experience is a learning opportunity, even if it's like something that you think in the moment's the end of the world. It's really like all part of the process and all about learning and growing. And yeah, I mean, it's been a wild experience. I mean, becoming an adult is crazy, like all the tasks that need to be done, and just thinking of life as, I mean, if you just think of it as, oh, you are a kid and then you have to work and then you retire and then you're gone, like you can't really kind of think of it that. You got to just take the small things in life. It's the little things that make every day special, and it's all about, finding your interest in life and finding your passion. And if you don't know what you want to do in life, that's okay. Like if you don't know what you want to do for work, or if you're working a job that you hate, or doing whatever, just finding something that makes you happy and trying to find a career in that, or just working hard in whatever you're working at, and then just trying to better yourself every day and just taking it day by day. I think that's all that you can really do. I mean, our world's crazy. It's evolving quickly. Things are changing, but if you just keep a positive mindset, I think that can like take you on a really like far path. And it's exciting. The future is exciting, but it's also just staying in the moment.
Yeah, everybody goes through life different paths. So like 3 people could go to college and graduate at the same time, but those 3 people end up having different life paths, and how long it might take one to find a job, things like that. But it's all about the end game, and so I think just sticking to what you know will make you happy, and how you want to live your life is probably the best way to go about it. Because everybody, like I said, has different routes. So just kind of honing in on what you believe is best for you is the best way to go about it. So that way you kind of are at the end of the day happy, because it's not all monetary. So some people might be happy living with making $50,000 a year, but some people need to make $500,000 a year. So it's really all about finding what makes you happy and the people that you surround yourself with, because your friends and your family kind of like represent you and what you're about. So finding those true people is important.
Yeah, I think surrounding yourself with the right people at the right times too, because sometimes you gotta realize that everybody's on a different life course, especially like us being in our 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's friends that I have that are having kids soon. There's friends that I have that have gotten married. There's friends that I know that are looking for jobs. There's friends that I know that are just single and living life, but everyone is on different paths, and it's okay to be lost. It's okay to not really know what you're doing. It's just like all part of the process, and a lot of it's just like trial and error, and like trying to just try something out, and if you like it, go for it, and then if you hate it, at least you tried it. I'd rather take a lot of chances and find out a lot about yourself when you really go for something and do it's I like have tried to this past year I've tried to take the mentality of putting myself in situations that I would not normally put myself in, like trying things that make me uncomfortable, because you learn a lot about yourself. Like sometimes I could be an extrovert, but sometimes I'm a little introverted, and then if I put myself in a situation where you just think of it like just make the best of the situation, have fun, relax, like at the end of the day everybody kind of is truly like if you're in a social situation and you're nervous about what people are thinking about you, at the end of the day people are really not thinking about you or really not paying attention. Like if you do something silly, if you just play it off, like at the end of the day it really doesn't matter. Like I used to sometimes would go into situations like, oh, do I look funny or am I acting weird, or like I need to be cool or whatever. But at the end of the day it's like just be yourself, and that's something that I honestly really like about getting older and moving away from teenage years, is like not being as self-conscious, like just be yourself. Like,
yeah, I completely agree with all that. And also something to add is that I'm not really worried about what others think about me anymore. To an extent, it's important, like in job interviews and things like that, because you have to make a lasting first impression.
Oh, yeah.
But like in pretty much all other aspects of life, I feel like if you feel like that I'm unapproachable, that's not on me. Like because I think, if you're trying to accomplish something in life, because you think somebody's not approachable shouldn't stop you from approaching that person. Like if you really want to accomplish something, there are no like roadblocks in that way, because you will always find a way to accomplish that. Maybe not to the exact measurement you want right at that moment, but if you in like the heart of hearts you truly believe that you want to do something, you will do it. And so I think like having that mindset of just like doing you and not like letting others' opinions get in your way for like 95% of the things you do in life will allow you to get there. And I think that's something like kids like younger than us, like just I don't think like they understand that, and they're just like afraid to talk to people and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of it's just like, I mean, even yesterday we went out with a couple buddies, and I just decided to talk to strangers. Like, go up to strangers and just have a conversation. Like, what is the worst that they're gonna do? Like, just not talk to you? Like, oh well, at least you tried. Like, even just talking to strangers and getting to know people is just put yourself out there, take some chances, especially when you're young. Like, take some risk. Like, obviously, be smart and like do basic things like be smart of your surroundings and like take care of yourself like physically and mentally, but also it's like have fun, take chances. Like being in your 20s is where you can experiment and try new things. And being in your 20s, like nowadays, there's so much to be learned on the internet, but there's also so much to be learned being off the internet too. Like just read a book, like get into books. That's something that has kept me grounded. Like I'll find new books that I like and just get into that, and just not paying attention to what other people think. I think like social media is something that's really bad for kids growing up nowadays. Like I couldn't even imagine how it would be to be growing up as a teenager right now. Like it would probably be unbelievably hard, just because I think social media is just it was intended partially for good, like to reconnect people, but now it's just like people are just obsessed with knowing what other people are doing and who they're hanging out with. And I think like I a long time ago have just kept the people that I want to see, but I've just muted the people that I don't really care what they're doing. Like the people that I care about, I hope they're well and like all that, but I really just want to focus on myself and not, because I mean as the quote says, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you're comparing yourself to what others are doing, obviously you can use other people as benchmarks to like, I want to be like this person, then you can like maybe mold yourself after that and make decisions like that. But if you're just comparing yourself like, oh, like if I compared myself to LaMelo Ball right now, like he's 3 months older than me and like a lot richer and playing in the NBA.
And a professional
but that's just,
athlete.
and he's, yeah, it's like you can't do that because then you'll play that game and you'll just be like, oh, I'm not successful.
You might be able to like compare yourself to like Alonzo Trier because you know.
Shout out Alonzo Trier.
But yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think TikTok is a sad part of our reality that like people younger than us and people that older than us are sucked into that crap. It's the like one of the most like mindless, useless waste of times that you could possibly use, and I refuse to go down the rabbit hole on like about TikTok, but if you have not already downloaded TikTok, don't do it. It's just, I mean, it's gonna fry your brain. It's just like the most.
Your attention span will.
You'll have the
ruined.
attention span of a cricket. Like it's just. I mean, it's you couldn't download a worse app, and so if you know throughout this show, like today, other episodes will have like crucial points that we want to talk about. What we just talked about in this first part of our episode here, one of them. This short snippet also important. Do not download TikTok, and I wish it stayed banned. That's how I feel. You're more than willing. You know, you can disagree with me however you feel, but I don't think TikTok is used for any sort of good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with all the knowledge and all the research that's being done into the decline of mental health in young adults and just people in general, I'm hoping that in the upcoming years that it's a sort of reversion to the past of people just not thinking that social media is the be all end all of existing. Like I just want people to just go outside, touch grass, like go play a sport, go out and like do all these things. Like the phone addiction is a huge problem, and obviously it can be used for good. I try to use my phone and I try to use like the internet and stuff like that for good, like trying to better myself. And when I was on TikTok for a couple months, I'd try to use it as I would look at like cooking videos and like try to get recipes of that. And I mean, obviously you can go down the path of looking at like funny clips, but the people that would just scroll for hours and hours, and you lose touch with reality, and you lose touch with like the surroundings going on around you. Like your whole world, like I would think about it like if I lost my phone, like how would that be? And if you lose your phone and you can't like survive, then that's a huge issue. Like you can't talk to anybody, you can't do all that. Like obviously you need a phone to like contact somebody or like whatever, but it shouldn't be. I love when I can just throw my phone down and not think about it and just hang out with people. Like that's one of my favorite things to do, and that's if I can do that with somebody, that's how I know they're a real friend. Like if I don't need to be on my phone at all, then you know you like that person.
Yeah, and to add to Justin's point, like him and I were really close. We've got a couple other buddies that we're really close with, and when we're with them, that's kind of how I feel. Like we're recording right now because we don't need our phones, and we're like voicing our opinions on how we feel about certain things, and we're expressing that just because that's like something we like to do. And I was just in the meantime while Justin was talking here, I just looked up some stuff on ChatGPT about like TikTok stats, which I don't even like typing the word because part of their like user rights, like they're able to detect keystrokes of even non-users who even type in their names. Like now TikTok is able to know stuff about me because I just simply typed in the word TikTok on ChatGPT, and on average, users open TikTok 20 times a day. So if you think about opening the same app 20 times a day, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and act like I've never opened the same app 20 times in one day, but it's the simple fact, like, think about how much better you could spend that time opening the same app 20 times, because it's like once you open the app, you're scrolling, and then boom, an hour and a half's gone by. Like, there are so many other things you could have done productive in that hour and a half, And so I just think like us as a society, we're just like cooked. I mean, I wish to an extent, I wish phones weren't even like a real thing. Kind of like I wish that NIL and the transfer portal weren't a real thing. But it's different. But it's just like it ruins the minds of people. It literally makes like younger kids, like teenage kids, guys and girls, like suicidal because oh my gosh, my best friend posts about how good their relationship is online, but behind closed doors it's a horrible relationship. It's just
people only show the best of that's going on. They don't show like the worst, and if they do show the worst, then it's like, oh, they're crazy.
Yeah, it's like, and then people like, oh, this person needs help and all this stuff. So it's like, it seems like only we listen when it's like athletes or people who are famous. Like, oh my gosh, they have such a cult following. That, like, oh, they're like depressed or like they've had anxiety. Everybody has like every person experiences anxiety at some point in their life. Now, if you experience it daily, then it's probably an issue. But like, you get nervous before an exam or for like a big report at work, a big sporting event like if you play basketball, football, hockey, golf, etc., things like that. You're getting nervous on tournament day. And so we all experience anxiety, but it's simply the fact that using TikTok and these other mindless apps have ruined the youth of our generation. And it's like, I've got a couple friends who are teachers who like are at a middle school level, so like very impressionable like youth that are just like obsessed with their phones, and it's just really bad. And so I mean, the main point that Justin and I are trying to communicate here is simply just get out and enjoy life, because before you know it, it's over. And like if you're fortunate to have both parents in your life, which is a blessing because not everybody's able to afford like have that in their family and stuff. Before you know, like, I mean, your parents are gonna be gone, and it's just gonna be like yourself or like you and your siblings. So I think being able to recognize that social media comes and goes, but like family and your closest friends are always there for you. So I think it just for us, we have a lot of similar beliefs in certain things. So for us, we don't really like to see where certain things are going right now.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy to be alive right now. I mean, it's a wild time. But I also think, like, I mean, we all have the decisions to, like, just keep going, like, no matter what. And I'm a big believer in, like, obviously, like, I love to be efficient with my time, but also it's, like, just enjoy the finer things and just put one foot in front of the other and, like, just do what makes you happy. Like, take some time to meditate. I've been trying to get into meditation. Like, obviously it's tough to, like, take 5 minutes out of your day, but it's, like, everybody has 5 minutes to just breathe.
Wake up
like
5 minutes early every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how many times you hit snooze?
Yeah.
Hit snooze one less time. Like, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, take some deep breaths, like, read some books, like, get after it, talk to some people.
Don't be a degenerate.
Don't gamble too much.
Like,
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Don't drink too much, don't gamble too much.
It's all in moderation.
Yeah.
Justin and I actually went down to one of our friends' house this weekend to get his car that was at the shop, and their family has an ice bath that's like climate controlled on a separate box, and you can choose how low you want the temperature to go to. So last night, before Justin and some of our other friends went out, we took an ice bath at, what was it, like 34 degrees?
Yeah.
And before we went to bed, we forgot to turn it off. So I woke up a little bit before Justin this morning, and it was at like 29, 28 degrees. So I hopped in that thing at like probably 8 a.m. and it was 28 degrees, and I was horrible. But the cold shock proteins fired me up. Like, I've had an amazing day because I got in that damn cold plunge. I went from the cold plunge to a cold shower. The downstairs shower, it really hits. Rest in peace to the downstairs couch. After I was all washed up and stuff, I went back upstairs, and brother Matt had brought home some breakfast for us, and then Justin got fired up too. the water had warmed up a little bit because I turned it off. So like when Justin got in, it was about like 33, 34 degrees again, and then he hopped in the shower too, and we were all fired up today. For our users out there that know what Dutch Bros is, on our way back to campus today, we got some Dutch Bros. Normally I'm a big fan of Dutch Bros, but today, like, I don't know, like maybe they added a little bit too much espresso or something, but Justin and I were not feeling our best this afternoon. Like we were, I mean, it was a little bit fired up too much. I mean, there was something different in that coffee. I don't know, the Sunday blues or something.
We had it in about roughly 12 hours. We're recording this at midnight on early Monday morning
On MLK Eve.
MLK. We started on MLK Eve.
Yeah.
We're now into MLK Day. Shout out.
Shout out MLK.
Inauguration Day is a huge day.
Yeah.
We got the national championship game.
I Have a Dream was one of the biggest speeches ever.
Yeah.
We have nothing but respect for MLK and the positive movement he created.
It's been over 60 plus years
Yeah.
since then. It's crazy.
We love MLK, so shout out. And yeah, I would just say that if you guys are in the area of Dutch Bros, you know, give it a try. But we just had, you know, every once in a while you go to one of those large chains, you have a bad experience. Oh well.
Just be careful with your caffeine intake.
Yeah. You shouldn't, you know, really shouldn't be going over like 200 milligrams of caffeine a day is what, you know, most doctors recommend. But I'm not a doctor, so if you want a couple scoops of pre-workout, I mean, by golly, go for it. But I would chill on the caffeine too, in moderation, like gambling and drinking. Also, yeah, I mean,
yeah. Take a cold shower in the morning. Take a hot shower at night. It'll change
Don't
your
be
life.
soft. Get in that cold shower, and darn it, after it, you'll feel amazing. Oh, it's too cold. Grow up.
It'll make you stronger.
It'll make you stronger. It'll reduce your stress, anxiety, and like all those mental blocks that you have. It'll reduce it. It'll keep your heart rate lower, which is good. It has a lot of benefits. All you have to do is stay hard.
Just wake up, get a workout in. I mean, if you need to have a little snack before, so you don't pass out,
Like
that's
get some
fine.
banana, get some
Yeah,
potassium.
wake
or
up,
something.
get a little banana, go get a workout in. I don't care where you are. Either go for a walk, go to the gym,
Do some
what you
damn
can.
push-ups.
Do some push-ups. Get a little sweat going. Get the heart rate going. Get in the shower. It's cold. It feels great. No, it's gonna feel horrible when you first get in, but that's something that you already did. And if you do that, but first, before you do that, when you wake up, get out of bed, make your bed so you already completed something for the day. And then you get in the shower, you do something that you don't want to do. You already beat that. You slayed that dragon. And now whatever problem comes up that day, you've already made your bed and defeated the cold demon of water.
And the
like
workout.
You're chilling. And the workout. You just ripped all your muscles torn up. Fill that with good nutrients, and you'll you do that for like a month, like months and months and months. You'll feel better physically, mentally.
You're 3 of 3, like MJ's first three-peat.
Yeah, and then if you gotta leave and because you gambled too much and that vice is taking over your life, and you have to retire from the NBA because David Stern said that you have to,
Or you're
then
having manic
to.
episodes on your Instagram like Kyle Singler.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we make money from this podcast, which will be large, and help me, you know, pay off tuition and all that, shout out YouTube. Get me to 500, road to 500, baby. We're almost there. But, I mean, the money will be nice, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're not happy. So just be happy, do what you can do, and if you can make money from it, do it. Obviously, you know, don't sell your soul to the devil, but, I mean, if you got to do what you got to
like
do.
Like most people in Hollywood. Yeah, and in my part of the revenue, we'll go to LA PD and LAFD.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
Future cop,
Yep.
Lieutenant Johnson.
Oh my God.
If you're watching this, Lee Summit PD, shout out.
Oh gosh. Have you seen 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Oh. Don't let them bother you. Mooj is my favorite character in any 2000s comedy. Wedding Crashers.
Dirty Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa sharded on the wall.
Bad Grandpa?
Yeah, Bad Grandpa.
Oh my. Jackass. Oh.
Johnny Knoxville is a legend.
I want to meet Vince Vaughn. If Notre Dame wins tomorrow.
Erroneous.
Erroneous on both counts.
Oh my goodness.
We need broccoli in here. We need our producer Brock.
Yeah.
Our producer Brock had to go to bed early, but
He's had a long weekend. He's gone through a lot. Nothing too serious to worry about him, but he'll be all right.
We'll have producer Brock on one of these episodes, and you guys will be able to see him.
Yeah, after Jeremiah Love and his half knee and Riley Leonard destroy Ryan Day and his career at Ohio State, we'll have Brock Kamali on our producer here.
If Notre Dame wins tomorrow, do you think Ryan Day, what are the odds that Ryan Day is just canned?
He's canned, brother. He's never beat Michigan. If he loses to a team that also lost to SIU, or NIU, I mean.
Northern Illinois was rough.
The-
I love college football now.
I mean,
I love that this is possible because Notre Dame would have never made it, and neither would have Ohio State. In the 4 team, they would have been screwed. But Ohio State, talent-wise, they're the best team in the country. They just
continue.
100%, you know what I mean? So they wouldn't have made it because they lost to Michigan. That would have the 4 team, they wouldn't have made it because it probably would have been Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and somebody else, but it wouldn't have been
Boise State.
Probably Boise State
Or
yeah.
Arizona State.
Either of those would have made the top 4, and we wouldn't have got this the playoff, the first round, there was some blowouts, but there was some blowouts in the NFL playoffs. There's gonna be blowouts if you have an Oregon versus a Boise State or something like that. There's gonna be blowouts. The difference in talent between an Ohio State and an Arizona State is they're not even in the same league.
Right, one's in the Pac-12.
RIP the Pac-12.
Yeah, now it's a 6-pack.
I mean, it was good. I love Pac-12 After Dark was some of the best games.
Yeah, especially when Jed Fish would make that overtime call in the USC game. Jed Fish, we don't like you over these parts, man. You had your chance. You sold.
You just.
And you took Jonah Coleman with you.
And you took Takario Davis.
Yeah.
And you didn't take Fafita. Fafita's one of the most loyal people on earth.
Or T-Mac.
And you didn't take T-Mac. How does that feel?
Yeah, you watched.
And you lost your bowl game, so I don't want to hear it. 6-7 or whatever you went, 7-6. It doesn't even matter. You're in the Big Ten now, so you're playing with the big dogs. You're never gonna win the Big Ten as a coach, Jed Fish. You're never gonna win. Would you have won the Big 12 this year? Yeah, you bet you would have, and you probably would have beaten Arizona State in the Big 12 championship. But you wanted to leave.
Yeah, would you have beaten Matt Campbell? Probably not. You know what? You're not taking down those Cyclones, but now you have no chance. Go ahead and lose to Kirk Ferentz and ETSU legend Cade McNamara, buddy. You're gonna lose to a JUCO
You're gonna go from Tucson, where the weather is perfect, to rainy Seattle. Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, yeah, you got paid more. Yeah, so what? But you're gonna be a legend in Tucson. Lute Olson, did you think he ever had to buy a drink in Tucson? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Do you think Mike Bibby ever had to pay for one drink in Tucson? Nope. Did you want to be a part of that crew? Apparently not.
You went 10-3. You beat Oklahoma. You beat Venables and the crew. Jackson Arnold's bum. He's on his third school.
You beat one of the best teams in the Big 12 at the time.
And you went 10-3. You would have gone 13-1 and destroyed ASU in the championship game. But no, you have me betting against my team in the Territorial Cup, winning over $100, betting against my squad. You want me to do that, Jed Fish? All right, whatever. Go live in Seattle. It doesn't even matter. There's so much turnover in coaching. That's why I'm not going to be a coach. Because if I was, I would have went all the way up to the ranks, made it on Arizona staff, and ruined you. It's all right, though.
Yeah, go pay for Actually, you probably wouldn't even pay for overpriced living in Seattle. Those Huskies will give it to you for free, and you'll take them to an irrelevant bowl, like the Relia Quest or the Duke's Mayo, oh my god, I won a cup of mayo. Congratulations.
I hope you do some under the table NIL deal and you get screwed like SMU and get the death penalty. Suspended for years. Shout out to SMU though, they built their program up. Pretty good.
Do you like
college football's so fun. I love under the table. Reggie Bush just got his Heisman taken away for the same stuff that he could be doing now, NIL. He should get it back.
NIL. Well, he already got it back.
Oh, he got. Oh, no, never mind.
Reggie, yeah.
He should have gotten it back a long time ago, though.
Well, yeah. Well, NIL shouldn't even be a thing. I hate NIL. I don't think college athletes should be paid for anything. I played a college sport. Was I paid? No, but I'm not a D1 athlete. But I don't think I should be paid regardless. I work my tail off to get to the pros, and then I make a bag. Oh, well, what if I get hurt? Don't get hurt. Stay in the gym. Go to the therapist like your coaches tell you to do, and stay
Eat
healthy.
right.
Eat right. Don't do anything that will make you get hurt. Don't get like messed up drunk in the clubs. Like, don't go off doing hard drugs and crap like that, and you'll stay healthy. Oh, what if I experience an unfortunate injury? You're
Tough
not
cookie.
a tough cookie. I mean, everybody gets hurt.
You're getting free college.
You're getting free college. People go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to become a doctor, to become some sort of like a scientist, whatever it may be. And you get nothing. You get to do what you love for free, and now you want millions of dollars. Oh, I can't pull up to the game in my Bentley Mulsanne. Who gives a shit? You're gonna get in a suit and tie or respectable clothes, and you're gonna get on that bus with the rest of your teammates and your coaches and pull up together as one. Oh, Shedeur Sanders, I have 2 Rolexes. Who cares? You're gonna be a washout in the NFL. You're gonna be the same level as Jamarcus Russell. Cool, you might watch film. Jamarcus Russell didn't, but you're gonna be the same talent as him.
Good luck scrambling when you have Joey Bosa coming to murder
Yeah, or Nick
you.
Bosa, or T.J. Watt, or Miles Garrett,
You're gonna get
or
murdered.
Preston Smith,
Oh,
or
good luck in
Rashawn
Oakland.
Gary.
Good luck in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
You're gonna gamble away all your savings because you're in Vegas.
Again,
And Primetime's gonna end up in Dallas, and he's not gonna do anything because Jerry Jones isn't gonna let him do anything because he just runs it still.
Jerry Jones is a terrible owner. I hate Jerry Jones.
America's team, but they haven't done anything
America's
since Troy
team.
Aikman.
They haven't even won a Super Bowl when I've been alive. The last
Emmitt
time
Smith?
the last time they won a Super Bowl, the Ford cars weren't even created. It was like still the Industrial Revolution. It was
Tom
like,
Landry was the king.
It was like the mailman and the CEO of Anderson Harrison Milk. It was like the milkman and the postman. Like they were playing like 8-man with leather balls.
the cheerleaders are more popular than Dak Prescott.
More people apply to be the Dallas cheerleaders than the people want to be Dak Prescott's backup. Cooper Rush, are you kidding me? The best you
Central
can bring is
Michigan legend.
Cooper Rush or Trey Lance.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott's
He was
played-
good 10 years ago when Ohio State won the chip. They're going to win it this year, but it's like, that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I mean,
You can put Ezekiel Elliott, Eddie Lacy, and Zion Williamson all
10
in the
years
same
ago,
bucket.
Russell Wilson was the talk of the town. And I mean,
Hey, you don't.
he's
Badger
on the Steelers,
legend.
but he's on the Steelers, but now it's like, that's 10 years. So much can change in 10 years.
Yeah.
I hadn't even driven a car 10 years ago.
Drove a car. Oh my gosh.
The iPhone was in its infancy.
We were still talking on payphones and like landlines and crap. Like
Elon Musk was like getting out of college.
Elon Musk wasn't even born.
Zuckerberg was doing coke in Harvard.
Zuckerberg was in his dorm room stealing somebody else's idea on how to make Facebook and then taking it for himself. I mean, hell.
Eduardo was pissed in that movie.
I know, it's such a
Shout
good
out to Andrew Garfield. We should
Social
fire that
Network's
up
a
after
banger,
this.
Yeah, after we get done talking to y'all lovely folks, we're going to watch a banger movie. Might have some Uncrustables before or something like that.
It's -4 degrees out here in Lamoni, Iowa. So.
We're in the middle of literally nowhere. Like, you look outside and there's nothing. It's barren land. I feel like Luke Skywalker right now. I mean,
I feel like I'm in Dune Part 3.
I know. We're going to make our own Mad Max Fury Road 5. You look outside and there's trees and kerosene lamps. Maybe some, like, uninhabitable land.
There's like tumbleweeds in
There's
Iowa.
tumbleweeds. There's, like, nothing. We're on a hill. We're, like, parched up in some, like, 2x2.
I went to a school with 100 people in attendance, and we go to school here with like 700 people.
There's, like, 2 people at the school. Sorry, 3. It's you, me, and Brock Kamali.
The golf team consists of like
The golf team is me.
us 3.
There's no coach. I'm all. I'm coach, player, everything. I'm like what LeBron should have been.
Oh man,
What do you
it's
think
so
is-
sad seeing LeBron be 40 and he's not going to be in the league in 5 years. I want him to team up with Curry and get his 6th ring.
Yeah, because that's also something
'Cause
that
the
we need to
ins-
talk about. So we've got to. So we were having this debate earlier. So LeBron has 5 rings right now, right? So got his first 2 in Miami, obviously. Then Cleveland, this is for you, got 3. Then went to LA, got his 4th in the bubble. Say what you will about that. I consider it a real ring. I mean, Jimmy Butler was making, $20 a cup of coffee and banging Rachel Nichols. I mean, it was all cool. And then we had the in-season tournament, the inaugural in-season tournament. LeBron and the Lakers, that's 5 rings. Now Giannis has 2 rings. So does Chris Middleton. But, yeah, LeBron, Curry, and the diva Jimmy Butler all on one team. I mean, they might do something. But
the old heads team up. They could be the youngins.
Yeah, also, last time I checked, I didn't realize that Keeping Up with the Kardashians turned into a basketball team based out of Los Angeles. It's nothing. I mean, the Lakers aren't. The Lakers are a joke. Sure, they might make a play-in team, but the Lakers. I mean, what? So how many teams are normally in the NBA? 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's 29 teams in the NBA right now.
It's just LeBron. I mean, he's the ultimate he's the ultimate professional. I mean, it's him, and then you got AD. Yeah, AD is very talented. He was dealing with injury issues forever. Because obviously, being a 7-footer, you're going to have injury issues come up, but it's unfortunate. They did get the ring in the bubble.
And then the inaugural in-season championship ring.
And the inaugural in-season tournament. Shout out to LeBron for that. But, I mean, you had this squad, and, I mean...
That bubble squad.
Jeannie Buss just can't. She just can't build a team around LeBron because she has these assets, and they just... After the bubble... They got rid of KCP, huge loss. Kuzma was huge. Rondo was huge because of that leadership. You can't just have LeBron and AD run everything. LeBron's 40. AD cannot carry a team to a championship by himself being the best player. And right now, he's number 1. LeBron, he's not even a top 10 player anymore. I mean, because he only plays offense. He's a designated hitter of basketball. He's just playing offense because he can't play defense. He'll fall apart. So it's you got Austin Reeves. I love that dude. But he can't be the second best player on our championship squad. The third, maybe. The fourth, ideally. And then you got Kuzma. He left to go to Washington. You don't hear from him anymore. When he was in LA, it was all, Kuzma this, Kuzma that. He's just too busy doing fashion shows with his girlfriend, which shout out. But it's it's Lake Show, but they're not doing anything. And the Clippers are trying their hardest to take away the attention. Steve Ballmer, that new arena, we need to go to that arena.
It's a cool arena. The arena's more cool than the team.
Kawhi Leonard just being a bum.
Dude, Kawhi needs to leave. Just retire. Just go and be with your family.
He hasn't been relevant in almost 6 years. The Raptors championship was his last time being relevant at all. The injuries are just building up. Paul George went to Philly. He hasn't done anything, and they were the
He's already complaining about being in Philly. Just go date. Yeah.
I love the NBA, though. The NBA is the greatest it's ever been at this moment. You got SGA, you got Tatum, you got Luka, you got Giannis, you got Jokic, you got all these stars. The star power is unbelievable. But partly
Kawhi's just you need to go focus on your family. Go be what's important. Kawhi's sister's in jail for life for killing an 84-year-old.
Tough.
You should you did you were. I wouldn't even put Kawhi in the top 25 list of all time. No. I mean, you made him
really talented, but
you faked an injury to leave San Antonio to leave one of the greatest coaches of all time. You had a Hall of Fame roster: Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Kawhi, Tiago Splitter, Danny Green. You had it. That Spurs roster was just amazing. And you faked the knee injury because you wanted to leave, and then he has 2 rings.
Toronto. Oh yeah, San Antonio and then Toronto. Yeah.
Cool, you went and won a ring in Toronto, and then that was the end of your career.
Everybody gets in the Basketball Hall of Fame, but the Basketball Hall of Fame doesn't really matter. It matters if it's top 25, from our generation. Curry's for sure.
Derrick Rose is going to make the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Because he won an MVP.
Everybody gets in. It's an issue, but it's cool that they get in.
Yeah, but it lowers the credibility of
the NFL Hall of Fame.
You have to be.
You have to be all pro.
You have to. The qualifications to get into the NFL Hall of Fame are what they that's how it should be.
And the MLB, I'm not really too familiar with that, but you got to be pretty good to get in the MLB.
The Golf Hall of Fame, also a joke. the Golf Hall of Fame still has active people in it. Like
Really?
Tiger Woods is in the Golf Hall of Fame. Phil Mickelson's in the Golf Hall of Fame. Bernhard Langer. All these players who are still playing the sport are in the Hall of Fame. Like, you can't... I think you have to be at least, like, 5 years removed from the NFL to be considered...
I think so, yeah.
To be, like, eligible.
I think the NBA as well.
Yeah, but...
But it's like...
Like
saying, like, Kobe compared to, like... I'm trying to think of a lower tier one. Like, is Ben Wallace a Hall of Famer? I probably...
Yes.
And, like, he was
100%.
great, but, like, he's not compared to Kobe. Like, they're on, like, completely different tiers.
Like...
Or, like, MJ compared to, like...
Damian Lillard's probably
Chauncey
going to be a
Billups, is he a Hall of
Famer.
Famer? Like,
Yeah,
Kyle
he has
Lowry
two-
might get in.
I'm pretty sure Billups has 2 rings. One in Denver and one in Detroit. Right? Wait, no, not
Boston?
Denver.
No, I think it's just Pistons.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the tier list of the Hall of Fame, like, it is what it is, but that's why I like the pyramid that Bill Simmons made in his book. I always like that. The different tiers of the Hall of Fame. It's a great idea.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups was inducted last year.
Yeah. Finals MVP with the Pistons. That was
NBA
a
All-Star
defensive
named to
squad.
5 consecutive All-Star teams. Finals MVP led the Detroit Pistons to the 04 championship. All-NBA second team in 2006. All-NBA third team in 2007-09. And he was part of the... What was that? Was it 2010, the Dream Team? Or was that the...
The
Redeem?
2008 was a Redeem Team.
Okay. Wait, 2010, part of the FIBA World Championship team. And he led the Colorado to its first NCAA tournament berth in 28 years in 1997.
Jeez.
Like, Damian Lillard will probably make it because he's the highest scoring player in Portland
And he
Trail.
won, what, 2 gold medals? Or 3?
Yeah, he took the
Tokyo and this year? Or was he
France.
this year?
No, he won it twice.
20, yeah. 2-time gold medals is good.
He took the Blazers to a Western Conference Finals where they got slaughtered.
Multiple first team All-NBA, I think.
Yeah.
Multiple second teams.
Slaughtered by prime Warriors.
Oh, yeah, that was...
I mean, it was not. I mean, they never stood a chance. And coming as a Blazers fan, I don't think Damian Lillard should be a Hall of Famer. He's not. He's not like. He's a rookie. His best accomplishment is probably being Rookie of the Year.
His 3-point things is like the amount that he's made in his career is impressive, but that's like he's in the shadow of Curry.
And
Like,
Ray Allen.
And like he's one of the best 3-point shooters of all time, but it's
Even
like
Steve Kerr.
yeah.
Like Steve, I mean, on a percentage basis, Steve Kerr's the best 3-point shooter ever. But like, in terms of volume, it's obviously Curry.
Curry, for sure. But the NBA is totally different. I love it though. I love how spread out it is. Because if you watch a game 20 years ago, it was crammed in the paint, and everybody was shooting 18-footers, 20-footers, and now it's all spread out. I love it.
Yeah, well, viewership's gone down tremendously.
I think that's as we were talking about, like the TikTok, and kids nowadays won't watch a whole game. They'll just watch clips.
Oh, I can't watch a 3-hour game. Like
a
NBA
10-year-old
game's
now
like
might
3
think
hours.
Wemby's the greatest player in the NBA, which he's definitely top 10. Like he's
Wait,
gonna
of
win
all
defensive
time?
play. No, in the NBA right now. He's
Oh,
the top
yeah,
10 player
100.
right now for sure.
Yeah, I
not all
completely
time.
agree.
He has the chance to be.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, because
Completely agree.
like he's gonna win defensive player of the year every single year.
Yeah.
And then his offensive game is just going to keep expanding. Like, he can dribble, he can shoot. Obviously, he needs to get a little bit better, maybe a little bit stronger, work on his inside game a little bit better, but he's got all the skills, and it's his second year. He's just like an alien. And, of course, the Spurs get gifted with him because they got gifted with David Robinson, gifted with Duncan, gifted with, like, Pop, who's, like, one of the best
One of the greatest
ever,
coaches ever.
and gifted with Wemby.
Yeah, I think...
Gifted with Kawhi. Traded George Hill for Kawhi in the draft, the 2011 draft. Are you kidding me? Like,
I think Wemby's going to be, like, Pop's last pupil. Because, man, Pop had
Pop was
gonna stroke or whatever.
He was going to retire if they didn't get Wemby. Like, and then he was like, I got to coach this dude. This is, like, once in a generation.
Yeah, so I don't blame Pop for sticking around, but I hope he's doing better and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But the Spurs team around him sucked. Jeremy Shohan's not even a basketball player. Bro shows up to practice with green hair one day and purple hair the next day.
I think they need to make a trade this trade deadline. They need to get Zion, or they need to get. I mean, I wouldn't want Jimmy Butler.
I wouldn't want Zion. He's a liability.
Yeah.
He's fat as shit in,
Well, if
in
you can,
New Orleans.
If you can put him into the system, Like put him into the system and get him the right coaches because he's in New Orleans and New Orleans is a shit show.
Yeah, so is San Antonio.
Well, they got Pop. He can learn from Pop.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about off court stuff. Like they're very like cultural down there. Because I've got to like know some people down there,
Yeah.
and like they've got a really like broad, different types of like food from different groups of people. Like
You think he just has
like
like an
he's
eating
fat
issue?
as shit in like New Orleans. He's eating gumbo and jambalaya. Like that's good food, but you can't be a basketball player in New Orleans. Like you can't be a football player in Vegas.
It's just not realistic.
Don't go to like these places where I mean, obviously him getting drafted to New Orleans was out of his control.
Yeah.
But like, it's like everybody in on the Bucks team is fit because like the only like bad crap they have for you there in Milwaukee is beer and cheese curds. Like they're not eating like soul food every day, like fried chicken and shit like that, and like beignets and stuff like that, like Mardi Gras food and stuff like that, like seafood boils and stuff like that.
Being an NBA player's got to be crazy.
It's like Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy broke my heart because, man, Eddie Lacy at Alabama, Eddie Lacy was a dog. He was like
Him and Trent Richardson, that running back out of Bama, Derrick Henry, like all that. Oh my.
Eddie Lacy, Trent Richardson, and Derrick Henry all had very similar builds, except Eddie Lacy was just fat. Like for an NFL player, for a running back especially, and the Packers gave him a chance when he was in shape and followed his contract. He was a beast. Like
It really matters on how bad you want it.
because he didn't care. He had a bag. Like at the time, the Packers paid
Some
him a
people
bag.
just get bags and they're good with that.
It's like-
they don't have the motivation. They're not LeBron. They're not these one of ones that it doesn't matter how much LeBron's made. He's still gonna grind.
They told Eddie Lacy in his contract that he had to stay under a certain weight, and
He
he just
didn't?
couldn't. He couldn't. Well, he could, but he chose not to.
Yeah.
He just got huge.
It's all a choice.
Yeah.
You can choose to wake up like not feeling good. You're just like, okay, today's gonna be a bad day.
Well, you can wake up not feeling good. You can't choose that, but you can
Yeah.
you can choose whether it's going to be a good day or not.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you wake up that's true. Well, if you wake up and you're feeling bad, then it's like you can let that ruin your day, or can you be like, I feel like crap. All right, let's do everything in my power to like make me feel good.
Yeah, like
Go in the cold tub, get a workout if you can, or like go get some fresh air.
Yeah, like I'm gonna like lay up like in my bed, curled up in blankets. Oh, I don't feel well. Like Winnie the Pooh. Like I need my honey. Just get out of bed, earn your caffeine, and stay hard.
Stay hard,
Like,
baby.
Wasting a day because you don't feel well is not going to be productive for you in the long run. There's so many other things you could do to like make yourself feel better. I mean,
Go make a nice cup of hot tea. Go get a nice cup of Joe.
get fired up, do some sit-ups.
Watch some highlights. Watch some Derrick Rose MVP 2011 highlights.
Speaking of like Derrick Rose and stuff, David Stern totally rigged the draft that year so Derrick Rose could come home.
David Stern did some wild
David
things.
Stern
He
is-
froze that envelope too to have Patrick Ewing go to the Knicks. I think it's all part of the process. Like these big market teams.
And he stopped Chris Paul from going to play with Kobe. If Chris Paul played with Kobe, the Lakers, Kobe might be the best player of all time if Chris Paul was on that team.
Because he wanted New Orleans.
Yeah.
To have not be screwed. But it's like, who cares? Because technically they owned the team. Like the NBA owned the Pelicans or the Hornets at the time.
They did.
But it's like,
So you send Chris Paul to suffer there alone?
with David West as his
David
only
West
other
was
guy.
his number 2. It was like LeBron and a Gauskas.
Verjao and Boobie Gibson
and
LeBron literally had the first 7 years
who
of
was
his
the
career
backup
wasted.
quarterback? No, the backup point guard, the short Mo Williams.
I mean, he was a dog, but he's not supposed to be your number 2 or 3 on a championship level team. LeBron goes in 2007, gets murdered by the Spurs, spends 8 rotting away, 9 rotting away, 10.
Well, he got swept by Dwight Howard, didn't he?
Oh yeah, and then in 2009, because then the Magic played the Lakers, and that would have been a Kobe versus LeBron in 2009, but then they didn't win, so Kobe never played LeBron in the finals, which is unfortunate, but R.I.P. Kobe.
And all the other passengers in the helicopter.
Yeah, shout out. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, we're coming up on 5 years.
It's crazy. A lot has changed in 5 years, but Kobe's legacy still reigns on true.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Kobe's Nike is still like releasing like Kobe's in his name.
The Kobe shoes are the greatest basketball shoe.
Yeah.
Those and Jordans are top tier. Like comfort wise, Kobe's are the best shoe I've ever had.
Yeah. Also, speaking of shoes, I got these. I won these in the Nike sneakers app, the Travis Scott Velvet one, lows, pink laces. It's got the Cactus Jack logo on it. Yeah, I mean, I think shout out sneakers and shout out Kobe. Those Christmas Day like Oppo color Grinch cleats. Yeah, Kobe's a dog. R.I.P. I think we need to. I can't. I'm trying to think of what I had to say. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, Travis Scott was supposed to have a new pair of shoes called the Field Jacks released last week, but apparently there were some issues with Nike, so we got to push it back to February. Sherrard, if you're watching this, we got to get ourselves locked in for that. And we kind of touched on our previous show, or our previous episode, sorry, that will be coming out on January 20th at 6 a.m. Central Time. 6 a.m. Central Time. We'll go in a little bit more depth on this, but Justin here has gotten a little graduation gift, whatever you want to call it, to his first concert ever. Me, Justin, and our other buddy from school, now a lot closer friend of ours, Sherrard, we're going to see Kendrick Lamar and SZA at US Bank Stadium for their first stop on the tour of the GNX. And I mean, SZA dropped her other album like a little bit. It's been a while, but anyways, they're on tour. They got the first stop in Minneapolis, and as you guys know, I'm a big Packers fan, so I plan on either wearing a Packers jersey into US Bank Stadium or wearing OVO merch. We'll drop a poll at the end of the chat. I want you guys to vote what I should wear. We'll give you Packers jersey, OVO merch, or both, and I'll wear the OVO shirt under the Packers jersey. So I'll let y'all decide. I think it'd be funny just to troll the fans in Minneapolis. Because Minneapolis, the Vikings, the Timberwolves, the Minnesota Wild are all jokes of a franchise. The only good thing out of Minneapolis is Maya Moore. Shout out Maya Moore and the Minnesota Lynx. She's a dog. She's one of the greatest WNBA players of all time. Yeah, so in general, I mean, it's funny, like, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions, who all made the playoffs, won the same amount of playoffs as the 5-12 Bears. The Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown wore that Green Bay sucks t-shirt into the last game of the week. Yeah, well, look who sucks now, buddy. All right, like, you had the 1 seed for what? To have an extra week off? You have your head coach crying at the podium because you guys can't do your job? Like, I mean, if that's not Detroit, I don't know what is. You ruined the career of Emmitt Smith. He retired. Wait, no, sorry, not Emmitt Smith. Barry Sanders. He retired early. Look what you did to Megatron. Now you kicked out Stafford and he went and won a ring, and then he comes back for his first game, and y'all are booing him and talking crap to his family. Him and Megatron gave you guys hope.
The amount of time Stafford was like writhing in pain, like on Detroit, like it was unbelievable. Like he was taking so many shots, and like he would play injured and still get after it.
Yeah.
Like, and
he put his heart and his soul out for Detroit, and you guys killed him and Megatron's career. Megatron could have been the best wide receiver all the time. He could have haunted me for way more years than he did. Instead, y'all pushed him out, and you did the same thing to Stafford. And Stafford went and got what was his, and that was a ring. Like, I'm happy for Stafford because he went to a team where the players and the coaching staff care about him, no fake fans, and then he comes back to the place that he gave you guys like something to look forward to on the weekends instead of losing every game, and y'all boo him and his family. Like, you guys never deserve to win a ring, ever.
Are NFL fans the most petty?
I think baseball fans are worse. Like Yankees fans, Cubs fans, White Sox fans, Red Sox fans.
I think D-backs fans are pretty chill. But also the D-backs have only been around since like 2000. So
yeah.
Shout out the 0-1 title.
But Eagles fans are horrible. I hate Eagles fans.
Philly fans in general are just... I need to have a Philly cheesesteak though. I've never been to Philadelphia.
And it's mid.
Should we go over states and close out with states, like our favorite states and why we like them?
Our favorite states.
Like Arizona, it's got to be the lack of.
You could start off with like you could just like say I've been to however many states. Like just list off the states you've been to.
I think I've been to, I'd say, 28 or almost 30 at this point.
So, oh my gosh, okay.
I've been to California multiple times. Shout out to San Diego.
And we're not counting airports. Like, if you flew into a layover, that doesn't count.
My family counts states if you, like, go do something. Like if
or
you
stay the night.
Yeah, if you, like, stay the night, or if you, like, go to the airport, you have to, like, go to a restaurant or something. Or, you have to eat there, or you have to, like, do something there.
Outside
you can't just
the
land.
airport.
Yeah, you have to go outside.
Okay, that's cool, yeah.
So I go California. Shout out to San Diego. Been there multiple times. Beautiful city. Mm-hmm. It sucks what's happening in LA, but they'll rebuild. Arizona, obviously, I live there. Love it. The weather's great. I mean, it's really not that hot. Like, dry heat's the best.
Grow up.
New Mexico, a crappy version
all they
of
have
Arizona,
is Albuquerque.
Opinion. All they have is Walter White's house. Shout out, I've been there.
Yeah, pizza on the house. And
Texas.
Albuquerque.
It's Texas. Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma. Kansas. It's fine. I have not been any of the down south states. Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, go Pack.
Go Pack.
Washington, Oregon, the corner of it, Idaho, Montana, love Montana.
Go Josh Allen.
I think I've been to the 13 colony, or the 13 original colonies or whatever, so that's probably like, what, maybe 25? And then I think Michigan, 26, and then I think I'd have to look, but I think it's like around 28 or 30. But I haven't been down south, and I haven't been to like Tennessee or Arkansas or like West Virginia or South Carolina or North Carolina. Like those ones I haven't been to. But West Coast, I like it. Midwest is cool. Northwest is cool too. Favorite though, I mean, I got love for the West Coast. Like Cali, would I want to live there? No, but
God, no.
I love Arizona, but also the Midwest is fun. The people here are nice for the most part. Weather, I like that it has seasons. I really like the seasons. Like fall is the best. Football's back. The weather, it's not that cold. It's like getting a little chilly, but it's not like bad. I love the fall. Fall is my favorite season.
Do you think Willie Pete has fall out in Pennsylvania, or do you think it's like you like this Pennsylvania experience, like fall?
We are Penn State, baby.
I don't know. I think like the Philly cheesesteak's kind of overrated. Like I had chopped cheese in New Jersey and New York.
Gas?
Yeah, it was fire. You could go to the bakery and buy the same things to make a Philly cheesesteak. Like it's steak, provolone, and peppers or onions, or you can use like pepper jack. Like I don't know. Subway makes a Philly cheesesteak. That's probably disrespectful to. No hate. I've never had a Philly cheesesteak, only chopped cheese, which y'all probably dog on because it's a copycat, but can't dog on it until you try it. So
like Wisconsin cheese curds compared to like anywhere else.
There's a difference. I'll stop dogging on the Philly cheesesteak. I've never had one. I'm sure I will enjoy it once I have it. But yeah, I would say like I've been to a fair amount of states I couldn't tell you, but low key favorite state I've been to is probably Maine.
Maine is gas.
Maine is so much fun. It's beautiful. I've
like
been
the
to Acadia,
the
Nova Scotia. Like been to Acadia National Park. Oh my gosh, Maine lobster rolls.
Oh my.
With some butter, like
get some clam chowder.
Yeah, clam chowder, lobster rolls, lobster cakes or crab cakes.
Go to a lighthouse and just like walk around.
But so like, if I'm like trying to like actually do something, sorry, that's not what I mean. Like, go to a place that has a lot more to do than Maine. I'd probably have to pick. Honestly, probably have to pick California because I played golf my whole life. I played golf in college. California. For me, it's between California and Arizona. California has a plethora of golf courses, and so does Arizona. I'd say probably lean towards California because they also have the coastline. They have a little bit they've got more options in terms of like professional sports. There's just like a little bit more to do. I would never live there, but also I've been to New York multiple times, and although it does smell horrible, you can go watch a lot of mid sports teams play, like the Red Devils, the Rangers, the Knicks.
Giants.
The Knicks were good in 1856.
Jalen Brunson's a dog.
Yeah, the Knicks now are good. I mean, they're not going to win a ring, but they're good.
If they won a ring, they would.
The Giants and the Jets combined for -4 wins this year. Aaron Rodgers threw for a yard. Also, if anybody in Devontae Adams' team somehow sees this, please, I know we did not leave on good terms with you, but I mean, please come back. If Devontae Adams, if you come back to Green Bay, it's going to be the light at the end of the tunnel. And if Josh Jacobs, I love you. Thank you for everything you've done. Please get Max Crosby to come to Green Bay. If Max Crosby comes to Green Bay, I'm buying a Max Crosby jersey. Him and Rashawn Gary as edge rushers, it would be
Raps.
And we get T. Higgins.
Do you think you can get Crosby realistically?
Josh Jacobs is really close with Crosby.
T. Higgins or Devontae Adams?
If I'm looking for longevity, I'm obviously taking T. Higgins. Devontae's like 35 years old.
If Devontae could retire for
if
like
we could
one
get him
season,
a vet minimum, or sign him to like a 2-year low contract,
like $5 million,
and give Higgins and Max Crosby a bag.
Boom, championship. Green Bay burns to the ground. Everybody's fired up.
There's a reason. There's the reason why the Lombardi is named Lombardi, because they only named the trophy of the whole organization after the best coach ever. It's not the Belichick trophy. It's the Lombardi trophy, and it belongs in Lombardi Avenue. I know it couldn't come home this season, and I know sometimes I have mixed feelings on Jordan Love, but at the end of the day, we put all of our eggs are in your basket. I know you just signed a bag with us, and you didn't really perform like you deserve it. I understand, but next season it's time to get things in gear. No more obviously your injury in week 1 was out of your control, but no more injuries. Our whole team got decimated against the Eagles. There was no chance we were ever winning that game.
I love LaFleur.
And I think LaFleur, brother, you got to stop calling our offensive play calls. At one point, they were good when you didn't even call them because you had one of the greatest quarterbacks ever calling the offensive shots. Yeah, it was good when Rodgers was doing it. You need to give the playbook and the play calls to our OC, and you need to be a head coach. I follow the Packers community heavily on like Instagram and stuff, and I've been reading like, man, Matt, you gotta put some discipline, and there's got to be leadership in that locker room. I mean, Josh Jacobs is. When we had that Eagles playoff game, man, like it looked like Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney, were like the really only 2 people I wanted to win that game. Xavier McKinney, you're a dog. The Giants are insane. The Giants let Saquon go, and Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney was I don't know this for certain, but I think Xavier McKinney was an All-Pro in New York, and they let him go. They're
just rebuilding. They're in like rebuild mode. But
thank you, New York, for Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney was a dog, tied second for interceptions with 8, I believe. Someone had 9. I don't know who. It might have been maybe was it Darius Slay? I don't know. But at the end of the day, Goot, we need you to do your thing in the draft here. Also, we had a brother from Arizona, Jordan Morgan, get drafted the Packers. While he was a dog in college, man, he was out the whole season. He had like 4 starts this year, injury prone. Sucks because Jordan Morgan's a good talent, but we need him to get healthy. We need him to have a strong offseason because he can be a very, very good offensive lineman. Also, we're letting Josh Myers walk. The Ohio State. He's a horrible center. Drew Dalman, if you're listening, if anybody in your team's listening, Georgia, if you're listening, please tell your boyfriend to come to Green Bay. We'll accept him with open arms. Drew Dalman's a great center. He was a dog at Stanford.
Shout out Georgia.
we will gladly take your boyfriend into Green Bay and welcome him with open arms. Don't go to Chicago because I've seen rumors there. You don't want to be Caleb Williams center. Don't do it. You already played at a crappy team in Atlanta. Not that you had the choice, but and they've got QB drama like Penix or Cousins. You got a QB1. Jordan Love's nice. He's got to deal with Toyotathon and other stuff, and his wife plays professional volleyball. She seems like soon-to-be wife, she seems like a very great lady. Just come on, we'll treat you like family up there. People up in Green Bay are nice. With that, we just got to keep going forward here and need a strong off season. And now that the NBA season's actually started, because it's past Thanksgiving, it's past Halloween, and their viewerships continue to go down because nobody wants to watch an 82-game season.
They need to shorten it to 70, but it's all about money.
It's all a money grab.
Doesn't matter if you're in Graceland or if you're
in
the
Czechoslovakia.
NBA, everything's about money.
It's all about money.
Can't let money control your happiness. Money can make you happy, but don't let it be. It can be, I don't know the quote. It's almost 1 a.m., so,
It just depends on
it
who
is
you
what
ask.
it is. But money can be a great asset, but it's a bad ruler or something like that. But
Yeah.
don't let it control.
Money's the root to all evil.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
If you let it control you, it'll ruin your life. So use it as an asset, but don't let it control everything that you do.
Yeah, also I just wanted to hit on a few more things. For all my combat sport listeners, we had a big UFC 311 weekend, first pay-per-view back, live from the Intuit Dome. As the people who follow it know, Arman Sarukian called out at 1 a.m. the day before the fight to pull out with what we assume to be weight-cutting issues based off what his brother posted on Instagram. And Renato Money Moicano stepped in on 1 day's notice, and like we all thought, ended in 4 minutes the first round. He dropped Makhachev early, but that Doris choke was going to be too much. And man, Merab really is a machine, being able to beat Umar like that. What I want to see is an O'Malley that's 100% healthy, unlike when he fought him the first time with that torn labrum. Or I want to see O'Malley versus Yan in a five-round rematch. We've got a Fight Night live from the Kingdom February 1st. And then week after that, we have UFC 312 live from the Kudos Bank Arena and somewhere in Australia. The Duplessis Strickland rematch, long awaited. I'm a firm believer that he won their first fight in what I believe that was in Vancouver in January of 24. Justin and I, we've been talking and planning out some future episodes and stuff too. We'll get out a much shorter episode tomorrow, quickly going over the national championship, Ohio State versus Notre Dame. And I don't know, we might drop in something about Inauguration Day if any crazy stuff goes down tomorrow. The chances are probably pretty likely. I'd say, is there anything else you'd like to, just any final thoughts you have?
No, it's been good. 2025's off to a great start. Looking forward to the rest of the year. We've got a national champion to crown tomorrow night, it is the 20th as of right now. So tonight we'll crown a champion. There's many more sporting events to come, many more national events to come. Things are on the up and up. It's been real. It's been a long day of podding. This is our second podcast of the day. We recorded one. It'll be out in about 5 hours, so check that out on Spotify and YouTube. And like and subscribe on YouTube, and like and follow us. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify. And our Instagrams and stuff will be in the bio and the descriptions. But be safe, have fun, and just be good people and bear down.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. Shout out Flight for this, but January feeling sunny. We about to get this money.